Hi, I'm Niki Seberini and welcome to my vlog, Conversations with Niki. The motivation behind this vlog is really for me to share my story of how I got unstuck. Because for about 18 months, I was very stuck. Over a period of 3 years, I had a whole lot of setbacks and I found myself in what I call the pit of despair. I lost my grandmother and my grandfather and my father-in-law and 2 of my 4-legged children, and I had to make a decision about my radio show Conversations with Niki, which was really doing very well and had been syndicated to 10 radio stations around South Africa, but I just wasn't making money. People would not advertise with me or sponsor the show, and it was an awful decision to have to let it go. And, I had enjoyed a radio and television contract for 9 years, a lucrative contract, and overnight it came to an end. So there were all these reasons and all these different circumstances that put me into what I call this pit of despair. And it was awful because I'm a very positive person, but everything was looking very negative and bleak around me. It was very difficult for me to get out of that state. And I would say that possibly the most challenging part was these awful thoughts that I had in my mind, these terrible ideas, these stressful negative thoughts that I had going through my mind over and over again, thinking about what had happened in the past and projecting into this uncertain future and putting myself into a pretty awful state. And as I said, I was in that state for about 18 months. And then in April 2015, I was driving with my son in the car, and out of the corner of my eye, I saw someone skip the traffic light and coming careening into us at high speed. And I luckily very quickly swerved. So instead of the car coming straight into me, T-boning me, the car hit the front of our car and we went into a traffic light. And really a millisecond earlier or later, and things could have been different, completely different, irreversible. And I remember coming home from that accident with a few minor scratches and bruises and thinking to myself, things could have been so different. I could have been lying paralyzed in a hospital bed. I could have, God forbid, been preparing to bury my son the next day. And I had this epiphany. I had this shift in the way I see the world, because it's almost as if the person from earlier that day who was filled with stress and anxiety and negativity, all of a sudden shifted into another person who was able to see the world completely differently, with gratitude, with relief. And it was an incredible experience for me. And there and then I realized that my power really lay in this present moment now, not harping on the things that have happened in the past, and certainly not thinking about this uncertain future and what this future was going to bring me. So my journey began then. And as I said, step 1 was really just coming to terms with the fact that this present moment is where my power lay. And so that is what this vlog is about. And every week I'm going to be sharing those steps and those insights. And next week, I've got some wonderful stories to tell you about how eventually I was able to rid myself of those awful, stressful, negative thoughts. And that was through a serendipitous meeting, in an interview, actually, a radio interview that I did with a magnificent, beautiful woman by the name of Byron Katie. But I'll share that with you next week. So I hope that you're going to subscribe to this vlog. All you have to do is just over there, click subscribe or like my Facebook page, Niki Seberini, Conversations with Niki. Until next week, take care. Bye-bye.